What's going on, everyone? So welcome to my latest top 10 video. You clicked on this video, so you know it. I'm giving you guys my top 10 worst movies of 2025. Now, bear in mind, as of filming this video, which is November 30th of 2025, I've seen 124 total 2025 films, and I will be giving you guys my top 10 best films of 2025 sometime in the middle of January when I catch up with all the Oscar buzz type films. But you clicked on the video, so you know it. I'm going to be talking about the worst movies of 2025, the ones that really grinded my gears. And it goes without saying, but this is a subjective video, meaning that your list will be different from mine, and that's what's great about film as an art form. And I do look forward to seeing what your top 10 worst of 2025 it's going to look like in the comment section down below, so please do let me know. But the way this video is going to work is I'm going to give you guys 5 dishonorable mentions, and I'm going to go from 10 to 1, with number 1 being the worst movie of 2025 in my opinion. And I'm probably going to go a little bit crazy, so if you're new to the channel, keep in mind that I'm not normally like this, but in terms of my worst movies at the end of the year list, I usually go a little crazy, so let's get nuts. So anyways, kicking things off with honorable mentions, or dishonorable mentions, I should say. First dishonorable mention, we have Flight Risk. We have Mark Wahlberg as the lead character, and then of course we have Mel Gibson directing this. And let's just say that this movie really did crash pretty much right away. Mark Wahlberg claims that God might not let him in heaven because of Boogie Nights, but honestly, I think God probably loves Boogie Nights and probably hates this movie, because this was a really, really, really disastrous movie to watch. Glad I didn't see this at home. I'm glad that I watched this on a treadmill, because let me tell you, if I was on this plane watching this movie, I probably would have just parachuted out. What a terrible movie. Holy cow. That's why I have it as a dishonorable mention. Next dishonorable mention, we have Gunslingers, where Nicolas Cage talking like this throughout the movie. And I gotta say, I'm doing this for a couple seconds and my voice is really giving out. I gotta say, Nicolas Cage is a great actor, but I don't know what he was doing in this movie. I don't know if this was a directing choice or his choice, but this is the only saving grace about the movie. I'll say this, the whole movie was very dull, flat. The cinematography in particular was really, really needing a lot more oomph in terms of the color grading. The story is very forgettable, as is the characters, other than Nicolas Cage. I gotta say, he wasn't in it that much, but as a whole, it's a terrible movie. And that's why I was a dishonorable mention. Next up, we have Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare. And I gotta say, the movie itself is a nightmare, but not in like a fever dream type thing. It's like, oh my goodness, what actually went right with this movie? And the answer, not much. This is a continuation of the franchise that I want to love. Like, I really want this franchise to work, because the idea of, independent filmmakers getting a hold of this material and making it dark and gritty, that's something that is up my alley. But unfortunately, the execution every single time, without failure, is just so bad. And I'm just going to say this right away. This is not the only movie from this franchise that will make this list. But unfortunately, one of those actually made it to my top 10 worst. So, lucky enough for Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare, it was a dishonorable mention. Next up, we have The Old Guard 2, which is one of the most bland, disappointing, and just outright ugly-looking movies of 2025. This was a huge cash grab of a movie, I gotta say. And to be quite frank with you, I am very disappointed the fact that this movie got greenlit with this execution. Like, was there anybody that was like, you know what, maybe we should try to make a good movie? No? Okay, well, the answer is The Old Guard 2. Did you see this movie? Probably. Do you remember it? Probably not. I know I legit almost forgot about this movie until I was like at the end of the year, oh yeah, I saw this movie. Terrible. Dishonorable mention. And the last dishonorable mention. This is also from a filmmaker that this will not be the last that you hear from him in regards to this video. We have Tyler Perry's Duplicity, which is a movie that, to be quite frank, has one of the most ludicrous twists of the year. But the only, and I'm saying this, the only saving grace is the cast, in particular, the 2 females. They are the saving grace. And besides those 2, this movie is a train wreck that gradually gets worse and worse before building to a twist that is mind-numbingly stupid. It's a bad movie. The filmmaking is laughably bad. And again, those 2 leads are the only thing as to why you should watch this movie. But would you want to watch this movie? Probably not. So it's best to avoid it. And that's why Tyler Perry's Duplicity is a dishonorable mention, and the final one. Kicking off the top 10 worst of 2025, we have You're Cordially Invited. And this is a movie starring Reese Witherspoon and Will Ferrell. You might have seen this advertised on Prime. And guess what? I would cordially invite you to deny this request. This was a Terrible movie. The premise alone crumbles like a cookie. And I gotta say, the fact that these two performances are this bad and this unfunny is just really a testament to, like, what even is this movie? The script is terrible. The directing is laughably bad. It's a movie that, like, when I was watching, I'm like, holy I see now why the studio TV show made fun of this director. Like, holy this is bad. This is really bad. So again, you are cordially invited to deny this request to watch this film, unless you're looking to watch a bad movie. Other than that, as a comedy, it's terrible. From a filmmaker perspective, it's even worse. So avoid. Next up, at number 9, we have Another Simple Favor. That's what the movie's called, Another Simple Favor. And I'll just say this. A Simple Favor, first one, I liked it. I enjoyed the theater experience. Have I revisited it since then? No. But I liked it enough. Another Simple Favor, terrible. Paul Feig proves once again that he might just be a big hack fraud director. I mean, this movie has hack fraud written all over it. The twist, honestly, this twist might be one of the worst of the year, if not the worst. Like, when it happened, I was like, wait, you're for real? This is actually your twist? Really? And it's not even just that. It's the fact that the movie just tries so hard to feel like it's an advertising video for like a cruise or something. Like, it's really bad. And again, I love cinematography. I think cinematography is so important. But at the end of the day, if all you're having is just B-roll footage and you don't have anything else to say, it sticks out like a sore thumb. And that's the thing. This movie sticks out like a sore thumb. It's a prime movie, just like You're Cordially Invited, that is just so bad. I can see why it didn't go to theaters. I can, 100%. It's a bad movie. It's an algorithm movie. It's a movie that, honestly, if you had told me that it wasn't directed by Paul Feig and said it was directed by AI, I would have said, what's the difference? I really don't like this movie. Really grinded my gears. And that's why I have Another Simple Favor as my number 9. Next up, my number 8, we have Tyler Perry's Finding Joy. Hey, I told you, this wasn't the last time you'd be hearing about Tyler Perry. What can I say? He's a filmmaker that I want to see him actually thrive. I want to actually see him make a good movie. But this wasn't it. This is one of the worst romances I've seen all year, if not the worst. It's very creepy. It's a movie that feels like it came out 75 years ago. And I don't mean that in a good way. I mean, like, in a way where it's like, ooh, yikes, not aged well. And it's like, wait, this movie just came out. It's really bad. There aren't that many people, it seems, that have reviewed it on Letterboxd or really anywhere. So if you've been avoiding this movie or you haven't heard about this movie, keep it that way. The only joy that you will find is avoiding this movie. If you actually watch this movie, trust me, you're not going to find joy. You're going to find a lot of anger, sadness, and regret. I promise. So that was my number 8. Next up, my number 7, Bambi, The Reckoning. A deer literally grabs a door. Need I say more? I guess I'll say a little bit more. What can I say? This was a really bad movie. Again, this is part of the same franchise that did Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare. I want to love this franchise. I really do. But every single time, it's one bad movie after another. It is really frustrating. I just want one good movie or one passable movie. Can I get that, please? No? I'm going to get Bambi literally hoofing a door? Like, is that what I want to see? I don't think anybody wants to see that. The theater I saw it with, everyone was like confused. I was confused. We're all confused. What are you guys doing? Come on, stop being hack frauds. Anyways, the Bambi the Reckoning, the only reckoning I'll say is, can we get a good movie from this franchise? Please. Anyways, Bambi the Reckoning is my number 7. Next up, my number 6, we have Back in Action, which stars Jamie Foxx and Cameron Diaz. And look, I gotta say, I like both actors. I really do. Cameron Diaz in particular, it's been quite a while since she's been in something. So why on God's green earth would she be back in action in a movie like this? I don't know. Maybe a paycheck. It's a Netflix movie. And a lot of times people wonder if there is, a lot of money laundering going on. And this movie definitely is, a paper trail of maybe it is money laundering, because this doesn't feel like a movie. This feels like a school trip. Like, oh, wouldn't it be fun if you were on a set of green screens? And it's like, no, not really. Not really. Like, I actually want to try to make something good. Oh, well, that's not this movie. Okay, well, I guess I'm strapped in. This was so bad. There wasn't any good action, any good comedic beats. It's a very forgettable movie. And I have to say, the only thing that's memorable about this movie is just how bad and lackluster everything was. Like, dear God in heaven, please don't watch this movie. I know you probably did when it was in the top 10 on Netflix, but just avoid if you can. It's a bad movie. It's really bad. Cameron Diaz, please do something else. Don't make this be your last movie. Like, I don't want it to be where it's like 50 years from now. It's like, did you know this was Cameron Diaz's last movie? No, do something else. Like, this is the same person that was in Being John Malkovich, and now she's being in Back in Action. The choices we make. Anyways, Back in Action, that's my number 6. And now we get into the nitty-gritty. Top 5, guys. So these next 5 will probably break me as a person if the other 10 movies that I've talked about haven't done so already. So let's get into these 5. So my number 5, we have The Home. That's right, the Pete Davidson horror movie. This was an AMC Scream Unseen, and I have to say I saw it with a friend, and we both didn't know that this was going to be the movie. But when I saw it, the title appeared, and I'm like, oh, the Pete Davidson movie. Okay, this should be cool. I like seeing an actor go against typecast. Holy shit, this movie was terrible. Like, holy this movie was so bad. The acting early on was like terrible, like abysmal. The color grading, was there any color? Like, holy I just could not believe my eyes and my ears, honestly. This was a movie that was one of those instances of me gradually gaining a headache and nausea watching this movie. It's a movie that should be tailor-made for me. Like, I'm all about movies that are about cults, all about movies that are about creepy imagery. But the imagery on display really wasn't even that creepy in concept, but in execution, it was like really bad. Also, there were so many scenes where I'm like, is this a PG-13 movie? Like, why are you shooting it this way? Why are you editing it this way? There seems to be a lot that was left on the cutting room floor, and at times there were also stuff that should have been on the cutting room floor. So it was a hodgepodge of a mess, and honestly, when I found out that it's the same director that gave us the Purge movies, I'm like, that checks out. But at least those movies had some entertaining aspects. This was a movie that made one mistake after another, and the biggest of them all is the one that I care about the most, which is the filmmaking, and the filmmaking is just so bad. Also, I like Pete Davidson, but this acting performance by him, absolutely terrible. Another movie that also has twists and turns that really don't make any sense whatsoever. But again, I can look past it if at least there's some elements that are good. But no, this was a movie that was abysmal. I hated it with every single fiber of my being. And yeah, I would highly recommend you avoid this movie unless you literally want a needle to the eye. In which case, just go to a doctor's office. Anyways, that's my number 5. Next up, my number 4 is Happy Gilmore 2. Full disclosure, the first Happy Gilmore I only saw a little bit of in my filmmaking class back in high school. I finally saw the full movie several months back in preparation for Happy Gilmore 2. And I will say that the original, it has its moments for sure. I can see why there's a fan base. But watching Happy Gilmore 2, like, dear God, I was genuinely confounded by the movie. Like, it's one of those instances where when I was watching it, I really wasn't liking it. But the more I thought about it afterwards, the more I was like, I actually hate this movie. Like, this movie is really bad. It's another example of Adam Sandler going on vacation with his friends and it feeling more so like an excursion than an actual movie. And you know something? I can see some people saying, well, Chad, you're just jealous. No, I'm about to go on a cruise in a week. I'm not jealous of going on a cruise. What I'm jealous about is the fact that he gets, what was this movie, like $200 million? And the movie doesn't even look good. It doesn't even look good. Like, you have one thing to do. Film is a visual medium. You have one thing to do, and you can't even do that right. You slop it up with AI, which is another thing I want to talk about. The AI in this movie was absolutely terrible. The visual effects are so bad. Every single instance of humor falls flatter than a pancake. And you know something? The worst instance is that I had just seen the original, so I had seen all these jokes before, and they were done better, and they weren't even good to begin with, but they were done much better in the original. So it's one of those instances of every joke falls flat. It can't even get the visuals right. It's a AI slop. The acting is honestly really groggy. It has so many cameos that feel so pointless, and even if you don't know who the individuals were, you know they're cameos, because it's like, oh, this person's in it for 5 seconds, and it's like, what is the difference between this and an MCU movie? Honestly, I'd rather take an MCU movie than watching Happy Gilmore 2, because holy this movie was so bad. It was honestly nearly unwatchable. And the worst offender, probably, maybe, I don't know, there's a list of them, is the fact that this movie was longer than the original. That's right, longer than the original. This movie should have been like 80 minutes, maybe 90. But instead, what was it, like over 2 hours? Happy Gilmore 2 was over 2 hours. Like, this movie was terrible. And you know something? That's why it's my number 4. Next up, my number 3. My number 3, honest to God, in another life, maybe even 5 years from now, I'll look back and say, why wasn't my number 3 the worst one? Like, the worst of the year? because even right now, when I'm getting ready to talk about this, I feel like my brain is like rotting. Like there's a fork in my brain. Like I can already feel the jittery. And my number 3 is Chicken Jockey. That's right. My number 3 is a Minecraft movie, which was, how much did it make? $1 billion? And audiences worldwide seem to love this movie. Guess what? I wasn't one of those people. But you know something? I gotta say, part of me is like, hey, made a lot of money, so theaters are going to stay open. Yay! The other half of me is like, I feel so bad for those theater employees, because seeing those videos of people freaking out over Chicken Jockey and throwing popcorn all over the seats made me really angry. But you know something? I said to myself, separate what's going on with that and just look at the movie. Judge it on its own merits. So I decided to watch it at home. And I gotta say, watching it at home was like watching a car crash in slow motion. You know what's gonna happen. You know that the end result's gonna be terrible. But seeing that experience was like, holy, this is absolutely hard to watch. By the third act, I genuinely felt that not only did I lose brain cells, but that I was lobotomized. That's right. I felt like I was lobotomized. Like I felt like by the end I was like, the chicken. That was me watching a Minecraft movie. Minecraft movie 2 will come out. I'll watch it, probably. But by that point, not only will I be lobotomized, I feel like I probably won't be around because of that movie. We'll see them. Maybe they'll improve. You know, they always say that sequels get better, right? Anyways, in all seriousness, a Minecraft movie, it's a bunch of actors that are on green screens that are saying their lines, just catering to the fan base. The fan base loved it, and they're happy. Okay, blah, 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 blah. It works as a product. As a movie, it's one of the worst of the year. Next, that's my number 3. Next up, my number 2, we have War of the Worlds, which is the new movie that stars Ice Cube, and it's on Prime. And let me just say this. If you were to watch this movie, if someone were just to play it, you would know right away that it's a Prime movie. And why do I say that? Because the movie is just chock full of Prime product placement. Specifically the third act. Like the third act literally caters around the need for Prime and how great their service are. Yeah, Amazon Prime is so good. Yeah. It's like, Jesus Christ. Like, this is a movie, right? This isn't a cash grab. Cash grab! Oh, it is? Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I thought movie was an art form. Cash grab! I guess I'm confused. Sorry. Yeah, this was terrible. This was really, really bad. Honestly, the only reason why this wasn't my number 1 is because there was a movie that made me crack the Netflix algorithm on how a lot of these Netflix movies are, in fact, money laundering schemes. That's the only explainable way. It's the only explainable way of how this movie costed over $300 million. You probably guessed it. It was from the hack fraud. Sorry, losing my ability to talk because of this movie. The hack fraud brothers strike again. And that's right. We have the electric state. Were you electric watching this movie? No. Were you bored watching this movie? Probably. Could you believe that this movie cost $300 million? No. I don't think anybody did. If you said this movie cost $300, people would probably be like, where's that $300 spent? There is no way that this movie cost $300 million without it being a money laundering scheme. I kid you not. Like, this movie is one of the worst looking of the year. The story itself is so derivative. The fact that they got all these great actors on display and the fact that everyone gave a wooden performance doesn't speak for the actors. It speaks more so for the directors. And the fact that it's the same the brothers that are going to be doing the next Avengers film, guess what? It gives me, like, this much hope for that new Avengers movie and the sequel coming after. I think that, like, this movie broke me, man. Like, I really did not like this movie at all. Watching it was a struggle. What was it, over 2 hours long? It felt like 4 hours. I was like, can we speed this up? So, yeah, I, genuinely speaking, hate the electric state. If you liked it, cool for you. Watching this for me, it's a cash grab. A money laundering cash grab. And just, honestly, a proof that indictments, some poems need to be really sent out to Netflix for over this movie, because, holy I can't believe this movie exists. Like, it's so bad. It's so bad. But, so another year of giving top 10 worst movies list. Another year of almost getting an aneurysm, close to it. I'm sure when I'm in my 30s or 40s that will be the case, doing these videos. But you know something? I enjoy doing them. So yeah, that was my top 10 worst movies of 2025. Let me know what yours is in the comment section down below. Very curious to see what yours will look like. As always, keep things simple. I know that's one of my big beliefs. Anyways, if you're new to the channel, don't forget the subscription, notification bell, follow me on Patreon, Letterboxd, and I will catch you guys later.